January this year, 3-hour sessions where you can join in a Zoom room with a trainer and a small group of people and do a workshop on various topics. In our April training week, we've got creativity for language teachers. We've got a session on conflict management, a session on CLIL, and teaching large classes. So these will be run over the first week of April. And as I said, they are a 3-hour short course where you'll have a hands-on workshop with the trainers involved, and you get a certificate, you get access to all the materials used, and of course a recording of the session. So if you want to sign up and find out more about those short courses, you can see there on the screen. It's iatfl.org/short courses, and you'll find more information there. So that's coming up at the beginning of April. And I said it's about 56 days away from the conference now. So obviously the conference begins on the 17th of May and is taking place in Belfast, and we're sure to be talking about that over the next little while. So if you want to, and you haven't yet signed up for a conference, or you want to find out more information, then go to iatfl.org and look at the conference website. And if you look if you're watching us on Facebook now, if you look into the Facebook stream, then you'll be able to see more videos that have said what's coming up in the conference and what's happening in the conference. But it's very exciting that it's only 56 days away, which means it can only be 55 days until the PCE events. And if you want to know more about the PCE events, then I'll tell you now that we have another live stream on Monday, and the details of that will come after this event. So we've got a PCE specific live stream event on Monday, but the PCE, the pre-conference events, are held the day before the main conference, and this year there is an absolute smorgasbord of events to choose from. And if you go again to the conference website, you'll be able to find out what they are. Just as a quick reminder, if you're not sure, obviously the name pre-conference event gives it away. So this is a one-day event held by the IATEFL special interest groups that takes place the day before the main conference. It's almost like a little mini conference which deals with a specialist area, whether it be pronunciation or learning technologies, young learners, and so on. And as I said, next Monday you can join myself and some of the SIG representatives to talk about their PCE events, and you can find out what's going on there. So we're going to introduce our first plenary speaker very shortly. I'll just say hello to Gulsenan, Robert, Renu, and Tom, because they've all said hello to me in the comments chat. So we kind of thought that people might want to hear a different voice than mine for a change. So I'm going to introduce somebody who's going to lead the plenary speakers today. So I'm going to add Nikki. I'm going to add you to the stream now. So welcome, Nikki Foster. She is going to be working with us on some events we're running up to IATEFL. And we thought, for reasons that will become obvious, it would be a good idea if she was the person that spoke and talked to Libor today. So without further ado, let's get rid of me. Let's add Libor to the stream. And Nikki, I'm going to leave it with you.
Thank you. There we are. There's Libor. Brilliant. Okay, Sean, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. As Sean said, my name's Nikki Foster, and I'm joined by my colleague and friend, Dr. Libor Stepanek. Libor, it's lovely to see you. I haven't actually seen you since before the pandemic. How are you?
It's true. Hello. Well, fantastic. We have a lovely spring here in Brno, as you see, as you know.
I know.
And it's time we meet in Belfast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's very exciting because you're going to be doing one of the keynotes on Thursday, May the 17th. And I think it would be nice if you could let's introduce you to the audience. So tell us something about you. How did you begin your journey, and how did you get into EFL and ESP?
Okay, thank you. Well, hello, everybody, and fantastic to be in contact with all of you who we might meet, or probably will meet in Belfast in those 56 days. Well, myself, my journey to EFL ESP was relatively simple, but it had some some stops, let's say. I studied at university English, linguistics, literature, and history. Then I went to do my political science, well, to do my PhD in political science. And after a few years of dealing with counter-terrorist policies, I realized that killing and torture is not for me. And I went back to languages, which was my big passion, and also cultural things as well. And I looked for jobs, and I started to teach first privately. And I realized that, yes, I really love it. Then I applied for a position at university and at the language center here at Maastricht University. I got a job, and here we teach, as a language center, we teach English or all languages for academic and specific purposes. So this is where I've been for the last 20 years.
And you're now the director of the Language Centre at Maastricht, which is, it's great that you're doing this. Can you tell us, what does the Language Centre do, and what responsibilities do you have there? Okay,
just to give you some context, or to everybody, Maastricht University is the second largest university in the Czech Republic with about 35,000 students. And our language center is the largest in the country. We have about 100 staff members, and we provide language support to 10,000 students every term. It is simply because languages are compulsory at the university, at all faculties to some extent. So for me, as a director, obviously, the main job of the Language Center is to give language support to the whole university. So we provide courses, we teach students in accredited programs. We also give courses, workshops, seminars to academics, to non-academic staff, and we also have some courses for general public. Apart from that, we offer consultations and professional advice on language matters, and we also one of the language centers that carry out their own research. So we have quite a lot of colleagues who publish articles, books, do research. So it's quite an interesting thing. And also we are engaged in projects. Both the research and projects are always related to, let's say, either applied linguistics or the practical issues of language and teaching, learning, this type of thing.
That's brilliant. So it's very active, lots going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And also I noticed that you're involved in teacher development and also teacher autonomy, which is quite interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that. What does that mean?
Yes, at our Language Center, we strongly believe in, in good teaching, and we try to hire fantastic teachers. But at the same time, we know that you can't be fantastic at one moment and just stay fantastic without doing other things, right? So we have a rather complex, let's say, system of professional development. And for example, every term our teachers need to go twice to do collegial observations to their colleagues. So it is, of course, for them to see how other people do it and to discuss, to self-reflect, to give feedback, and to learn, and also simply show what they know. And this is one of the things. Then we were inspired by the University of Helsinki in Finland in having a one afternoon for development of. So majority of our teachers do not teach on Thursday afternoons, but we have workshops, seminars. We invite people from other universities to give these development sessions, or we simply share whatever we want or need to share. There's another way of development, and of course we go to conferences and workshops, seminars like to IATA, where definitely some of my colleagues will appear.
This is brilliant, though. I think, especially the idea of observation, because it's such a powerful tool and it's free, which is my favorite price. And I just think we need to encourage, teachers to do more of this. Oh.
Yeah. Maybe, this teacher autonomy was the other area. This is also very interesting because with 100 teachers, you basically have to set up some standards, some ideas, and we have teachers. And we, again, strongly believe in the individual quality and professionalism of these people. And we know that we cannot say, okay, this is the right method, or this is one of the methods is right or correct. So what we try to do is we try to give to our teachers, let's say, free space for operation or for teaching delivery, but they, in a way, need to make sure that they can bring evidence that it is either effective or that it is based on something. So this is also one of the ideas for the observation thing, that you see a completely different method that you are using, and it is equally effective, for example, for different types of learners or even to the same learners. So that's another thing which, for me, as a director, is really essential thing to encourage all teachers to make sure that they can be great teachers and they are true to themselves as characters, and at the same time they need to respond to the needs of the university, of the learners and everybody. So this is how we try to work with the autonomy, simply saying it doesn't mean the extreme thing of you can do whatever, but it is, on the other hand, the idea of, yes, we're not going to narrow down our teaching methods or pedagogy to something that could be an officially Master Universal Language Center style, for example. That everybody can have their own space.
Oh, absolutely. And that must help as well with teacher identity, that they can be, as you say, true to themselves in the classroom, and the style suits them. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, the last time I saw you present, you were talking about creativity and creative language teaching. That was a while ago, but at IATEFL I noticed that you're doing something about EMI. I don't know about the audience, but I wasn't initially sure what EMI was. So I was going to ask you, can you first start by telling us, what do you mean by EMI? What does it stand for? What is it?
Okay. Well, thank you for mentioning the creativity, because creativity is one of my biggest passion, as you could see in my last talk. And the thing is that EMI is in my activities, let's say, subgroup or subsection of this creative approach to language teaching. EMI stands for English Mediated Instruction, or simply, well, anyway, it is one of the possible abbreviations for the situations when, now the definition comes, this very simple one, it is simply teaching any subject, like history, sport, chemistry, whatever, through the medium of English, but to the group of mostly non-native English speakers in a non-English speaking environment. And I think I need to explain that mostly non-English native speakers, because, of course, these days people realize, especially at universities, that there is no native to English, academic English. Okay, so recently we've been having more and more English native speakers in the EMI courses, meaning that these people, of course, they are native to English, but not to academic English, meaning that they learn how to operate in academic English language, and they are never in their majority, okay, in these groups. So this is one of the things related to the EMI. The other thing is the environment is also very, well, this is a little bit more complex, because we can say that, for example, if a student or teacher comes to a British university in Britain, then it is not EMI, because everything is within the context of the native language culture, okay? But there can be situations where, for example, in some countries, you will have a whole campus which is run in English. The language of the country is different, but all the teaching provision is in English, or the administration, everything. So there's one type of environment for EMI. Another one can be bilingual. So, for example, you have English as another language or another official language of the country, and it can be equal to the other language. So you can have programs in English or in another language of the country, and they can be both working together. And the third situation, and that would be probably closest to where we are based in Brno, it is when English is minority. And it means that, of course, English exists at the university, or in the teaching environment, but it is just a part of the curricula in, for example, Czech programs, or the English programs are not in their majority for the students. So most students study in Czech, for example, in our case, but they have access to English courses. At the same time, administration is in Czech, but if you are a foreigner or if you are foreign, well, as teacher or student, you can communicate in English as well. So in these situations, EMI helps, or is the situation when the provision of teaching or the administration is given in English, or through the medium of English.
Okay, so and just to clarify even further, what's the difference between EMI and content language integrated learning, CLIL?
Okay. Content learning, integrated learning is different in the way that you focus on the content and language, both. Okay, so the students, let's say, or the teachers should be aware of the content of, let's say, the history or chemistry, and language as well. And the learning is being done in both areas, content and language. EMI overlaps slightly, but EMI focuses only on the content part, which is done in language, meaning that, for example, the teacher of chemistry doesn't have to know anything about English language teaching. They simply teach chemistry through English, but they need to know how to do it effectively. That's the difference. So, yeah, so for example, they will not teach the students chemical vocabulary, but they will have to teach them chemistry in such a way that the new vocabulary or the new terms are accessible to the learners.
Okay, yeah, I've got you. So, but why is it then that this term is relatively new, at least on my radar? Is there an explanation for this? What's happening? Why is EMI now becoming the focus of conversation and plenary talks?
I would say that the most important change came with the internationalization of universities. More and more universities realize that English programs are a necessity or a must if they want to attract international students, and also to offer even English programs to their local students. And with this, there has come this need for highly professional teaching delivery through the medium of English. So we do not want to we do not want to change teachers of sport or of, I don't know, computer science into teachers of computer science and languages, but we want to help them to say, okay, there is a way to teach through the medium of English effectively, and this is where we can help. So I think that it goes hand in hand with the internationalization boom, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the last years.
Yeah, that I think then this is pretty much happening everywhere. It's not just specific to our context, for example. Okay, so as we mentioned, you are doing the plenary on the Thursday morning. Without giving too much away, can you tell us just a little bit about what we can expect?
Yeah. Here at Master, we have a system of this support for EMI. For teachers who need to teach through the EMI or through the medium of English, and students who are learning in this way. And when we started, we were touring courses on EMI, and I realized that many of those courses were given by us language teachers, and somehow didn't respond to the fact that EMI is not about language only, but is a lot about the extra linguistic skills that the people need to have. So for me, it was really interesting to look at those courses that I took part in and see how, in a way, limited we were as language teachers in what we offered.
Mhm.
So we offered effective, let's say, expressions, how to deal with the language. It was all fine, but we also included, let's say, language teaching methodology. And then we forgot about the fact that those people are not language teachers and they are not going to teach languages, and they are going to be somehow pressed in two different cultures or intercultural situations. One intercultural situation will be the macro situation, like the Hofstede's ones, national ones. Simply people from different countries will come with their different home cultures.
Mhm.
But at the same time, we will look at the Adrian Holliday's microcultures, meaning that a chemist from France and chemist from China will probably have more similar attitude to teaching than a French historian and a French chemist, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So these are the things. And for me, what I'd like to show is that we can, as language teachers, we can provide this effective support of EMI to show to the teachers of other subjects how to do it better, let's say in English, because the thing is that we know that language teachers travel more. For example, that there are statistics that language teachers study abroad more often than teachers of other disciplines. They travel more even for their professional purposes than from other branches. So we feel as language teachers as, yes, we know intercultural communication a little bit better. We know we can do these things, but to teach them, it's a different story, to train other teachers. So in my speech, I'm going to focus on what we need to think about.
Mhm.
For example, those different methodologies that we offer to different groups. So if we have a group of participants where we have a chemist, a science engineer, a I don't know, historian, a sports teacher of sports of whatever kind, then first we need to discuss and identify what are the real needs in that situation, what are the cultures for teaching. For example, if you talk to a teacher of mathematics and you say, well, you shouldn't be standing back to your students and write on the board while you are speaking, then everybody will laugh at you because the mathematicians simply work like that and the students are following that because they follow the mental process while they see what is being written in the equations, for example, which wouldn't work for communication of language, right? If you did that. So these are the little things I'm going to talk about that we can focus on. And for example, that we can see in our summer schools and our courses that we provide or offer to academics and students, that they really work. So I'm going to basically share the good practices that we've tried out and that worked, and I hope that people will enjoy it.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, it sounds incredibly practical and incredibly useful, which is absolutely perfect. And as you say, it's the extra linguistic features that
Yeah,
we perhaps don't think about that we should be made
yeah,
more
yeah.
aware of. All right. Okay, Libor, thank you. Just before I let you go, obviously, burning question that I have: would you prefer to be invisible or to be able to read minds?
Oh, good question.
Yes.
No. Read minds never. That would be scary for me. No, so invisible, but not all my life. When
So
I
just
choose.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Okay, I agree with you. That's a good choice, Libor. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you this afternoon, and we're really looking forward to your plenary at Belfast.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
thank you.
and thank you for trying. I've always struggled with this difference between EMI and CLIL, and that is kind of, for me, they just, yeah. Anyway, so thank you for providing some clarity for that, and I look forward to learning even more on Thursday the 19th when you're going to be front and centre on the stage in Belfast, not reading people's minds and hopefully not invisible.
Never know.
So thank you for joining us, Libor. And so Libor, as you've guessed, is going to be doing the plenary on Thursday the 19th of May on the IATEFL conference in Belfast. There is still time for you to sign up and go to Belfast if you want to join in the conference, and you can find out details about that on the IATEFL website, iatefl.org. And I'm going to just remove Libor and from the stream. That's it. And so I can put up the details. So there's Libor's plenary. There we go. So EMI, a language teacher's leap into the unknown, which will be on Thursday, the 19th of May, during the IATEFL conference, which, as you can see there, is on the 17th to the 20th of May. And as I said at the beginning of this stream, that's about 56 days away from now. So we're coming to the end of this live stream. Just to I hope that's whetted your appetite for the conference and to meet the other plenary speakers. So as I said at the beginning of this stream, we will be streaming again on Monday. So the coming Monday we'll have a live stream all about the pre-conference events, and we'll be joined by some of the people organizing those events, so you can find out more about what a pre-conference event is and see which one you might want to join if you are joining us in Belfast. And then just for the dates for your diary, on April the 8th, we'll be again live streaming with plenary speakers, and on April the 11th, they're the ones in the diary for now. So hopefully you can join us then. And of course, as I said, if you want to find out more information about the conference, then go to the IATEFL website and follow the conference links. And if you want to find out more about the short courses, which are coming up at the beginning of April, then please go to the IATEFL website and follow the short courses. That's it for now. Thank you to Nikki for her time. Thank you to Libor, and I will see them both in Belfast very soon. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you again at the next broadcast on Monday.